How you guys doing? I have no issues putting this on blast so everybody can know. It's been almost 10 years since I've been away from those people, but there's a reason why I will never touch a certain company, and it reminds you of a software, or rather a programming language created by Google and the opposite of your mother. And that's one of the companies I've known 40 or 50 people involved that were actually employees. We're talking level one, level two, and level three employees that were involved in drug trafficking, breaking and entering, burglary, intellectual property theft, piracy, various other things. And we're talking Medicaid, Medicare fraud stuff that we're seeing now in the news. It's just a long list, a long litany of lists. And it's like I've known like 40 or 50 of these people that have worked at this company over the years, and about half of them that I actually got close to when I was going to university or school or college or whatever were involved in this basically an organized ring of sex, drugs, rock and roll, burglary, scamming, fraud, and all this other stuff. So you can understand how it is when I say that there's certain companies when I will never touch them. I won't touch them because I've met some of their employees. And if that company has any problems with anything I've had to say, they can feel free to reach out and contact me. It's not a problem. I'm sure they have my phone number somewhere in their records somewhere or something or whatever. I'm sure they know my email address at this point. I'm kind of notorious or infamous. Infamous. Yeah, I'm infamous. I think that's the name for it. But this company, like I've dealt with the people who actually work on the infrastructure for this company, and the low moral character is why I'll never touch this company. There are a few other companies that are like that I'll never touch because due to the low moral character of the employees. I couldn't, in good conscience, put anything on these platforms simply for the fact that I don't want to have my business disrupted because somebody has a personal issue with me, because I know something about their illegal dealings and their criminal behavior, and I definitely don't want them stealing any of the credentials or information or anything about my whatever clients I may or may not have, or potential clients I might have if they do inquiries on my platform. I just don't need that. I don't need them phishing my client pool and either stealing their information or doing anything disruptive to my personal internal affairs. And that's one of the things that I don't do that to other people. And if I have a problem with a company and they don't listen the first time I send them an email or the first time I call them up, then I usually go public with whatever the problem is. But otherwise I don't say anything. Like I've had a problem with Hostinger, and everybody knows about it because I made it public, because they didn't respond to any of the emails. I sent them like 10 emails. I called them on the phone twice, and they just didn't respond in a fashion that was like, I was locked out of my account, and they locked my email address because I moved over to a different provider for my email. And the email was technically still the same, but they weren't allowing me access to the old one because of the name change, and it was a monstrous task. And apparently it took them like 8 months to resolve this. I'm not exactly certain what was going on. It is resolved now, and it's not that I don't trust Hostinger now, but they're doing too many changes, and I don't trust the platform yet because I'm old, and it's not because I'm old. It's just because I've been around so long that I know that new stuff generally breaks for like the first 6 to 12 months. So, and I know how new their new platform is. And I'm not going to shoot at them, say that, they're terrible people or any of this stuff because of that one scuff, because that could have just been, them having a corrupt database or something. I have no idea. They didn't know how to resolve it. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. They didn't give me a response on what happened. They just told me it was fixed. I checked it and I found out that it was fixed, and it is fixed. I have access to it now. I moved everything off the platform because I don't know if they were still changing stuff. And I didn't want to interact with that. Having to rebuild everything again. So, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm not a prostitute, so I don't like to sell my time for anything other than actual labor. Because usually it's intellectual labor. Because, no offense to prostitutes, but I just can't fathom wanting to have that as a career path because you have to directly interact with a whole lot of really unsavory characters, terrible human beings. But yeah, that's all I want to say today. I don't have everything else going on. I'm working on a database and it's very, very boring. I really, really dread doing this. I put this off for 2 months and now I'm at the point where I have to do it no matter what. So whatever. For the rest of you out there, not knowing what company that is, it's a great programming language, and the opposite of your mother is not your cousin.